Hello and welcome to our 21 top 21.
21 was 9 plus 10.
21.
No!
Is that not how it goes?
I feel like I did that one wrong.
I feel like that's not how it goes. Anyway, today Jeremy and I will be sharing our top 21 games of 2021. Not necessarily games that came out in 2021, just our favorite games of this year. This is the first part of this video. We're going to divide it into two so we don't, overwhelm you with our awesome board game choices and card game choices. We're just going to be doing 21 to 11, and next time you're going to get part 2, which is
the big top 10.
Exactly. What Jeremy just said.
The big one.
So we're going to start with the sad number 21.
21.
It's legal, though, to drink and stuff. So that's kind of exciting for 21.
But can't rent a car.
Can't rent a car. Because reasons? I wonder why. It seems odd.
I don't know.
Anyway.
Or was it renting a car? I think it's renting a car. There's
Probably.
also a cutoff for like being in a hotel room by yourself or something, I think.
Okay. Well, I guess it's all right if you want to have a one-night stand. Sorry, children. But anyway, moving right along to our...
What's your number 21?
21. You're going to get mad at me for this one.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's Lords of Waterdeep.
What?
I know. You're like, why isn't that farther up along on the list, Elaine? And it's like, well, it's good, but there are other things I like more. So I put
There's 20 other things you like more than Lords of Waterdeep?
Yes, there are 20 other things I like more than Lords of Waterdeep. I put Lords of Waterdeep here because I do like the fact that it does have the expansion and Scoundrels of Skullport and how that changes the basic gameplay of the worker placement, which I feel like is a very classic worker placement, a little bit of an update from Stone Age, which is just like very like basic, boiled down, like OG worker placement with like to this, which has a few more bells and whistles. I think the problem I have with it is like I wish like the cubes weren't cubes. Like I wish they like looked more representative of what you're gathering.
You can get the custom pieces.
But I mean, we're just talking about the I'm a poor person and all I can afford is the basic game stuff.
Yeah. The custom pieces are cool though. With like
I don't know if I've ever seen them.
I definitely
you must have
showed
them to me, but like my brain is
they're like little
nah.
meeples. Like the purple ones look like wizards.
Well,
they
yeah,
get the hats and everything.
Yeah, well, I mean that's exciting.
Yeah.
I think the problems that I have with this game are just like this is I know one of your favorite games. For fact, because I mean you complained we already established that it is one of your favorites because you complained that it is too low on my list. I feel like that is the thing we established, and I think for me it's just like we've played this game so often because you like it that we can kind of like predict each other's gameplay, and I feel like that detracts for me a bit. Like there isn't like it's a replayable game for sure. It's just like we've gotten to a point where we've played this game so much that it's basically at an unreplayability point, if that's possible.
You also lose a lot at it.
I don't mind. I mean, like, we've established that my win ratio off camera is not bueno. It's like 1 in 25, 1 in 40 games, depending on what we're playing. And I am very good about losing. Like, you have to hand me. I am very nice about losing to you. That's constantly. True. Like, it's fine.
I will take your justifications for it being at 21 for you. At least it's in your top 21.
Yeah. I think just, too, like, the base game, once you've played Skullport, just isn't... Like, I mean, I don't like the corruption, you know, I'm not a very corrupt lord when I play as a lovely lord, lady. I guess I'd be a lady, I'm a girl, but, you know, whatever. Technicality. But, you know, once you go back, it's not the same.
It's one of those expansions that you definitely kind of have to play it with the expansion once you've played it with the expansion. For Skullport and the Undermountain, they just add extra stuff to it, the extra spaces and everything.
Well, I think the lords are more complex when you have Skullport, because it's not like, hey, you get piety and commerce bonus, yay! Or unless you're the builder, just like the random. It's basically everyone's the same, and then there's the builder. It's just like it just you need a little bit more going on with the base game.
A little bit more complexity,
variety, and I like prettier things. The board just. It doesn't appeal. They're good quality opponents, but I like my ponies and my kittens and my wizards.
That is true.
There you go.
So my 21 is a game that technically doesn't actually exist, but it is Card Z, which is a game that I got to try a prototype of, and I put a preview up on the channel.
You did do that, yes.
Yeah, and they actually just went on Kickstarter last month, and they were not able to meet their goal, but they're going to be relaunching soon, so keep an eye out for that.
You do that, yeah.
I'll probably post something once they relaunch. But just the prototype version of this game I absolutely loved. It's probably my top zombie game
Ooh,
It is my top zombie game.
Ooh, your favorite Zimbabwe game.
Yeah, and that's saying something because I've played like Tiny Epic Zombies. I gave that, if you watch my review on that, I gave it a really high score. And I like Dead of Winter, and I like Zombicide. There's a lot of good games. You can actually watch our top zombie game countdown. Didn't we put a top zombie game countdown?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did that.
It was specific. I thought at first I was like, wait, was it just for Halloween?
No.
And then I remember it was because of Halloween that we posted it, but it was for Zombies.
Yeah, so you can go check.
You like your Zombie
It's
games.
not on there because I hadn't heard of it at that point. But it's my top zombie game. So Card Z, I really like it because it's it really kind of makes it like you're playing like Walking Dead the game almost, where it's like you have like the moving around the map, and then you zoom into the hex tiles, and you actually like have to clear areas to loot them and fight different zombies. It's really cool. Yep.
Yeah.
I really like that. What's your number 20? Well, actually, I'll do my 20 first because you did 21
I
first.
see what you did there.
Yeah.
That's rude, man. Okay.
So my number 20 is probably one that you might think should be higher, and that is Unstable Unicorns.
I do. How could you? How could you do my unicorn buddies like that, man?
Unstable Unicorns it's fun. It's it's a draw a card, play a card kind of game. But I like that it adds the element that you can draw an extra card instead of playing a card. That's kind of cool.
You forget about that one.
I do forget about that. But I almost always play a card. There's very few opportunities that I run into where I don't play a card of some sort.
Yeah.
I like the nay cards. I mean, there's other games that have similar cards, like Nope cards and stuff. What's that? Yeah. Nope was Exploding Kittens.
I believe so. It's been a while since we.
Unless the disarming card. There's definitely something that's Nope, and I can't remember what it was.
There are a lot of Nope cards.
I like the nay cards, and it's fun. It's cute artwork. That's Tea Turtle, right? Yeah.
Which
the Tea Turtle art?
Yeah,
Unstable Unicorns. Yeah, and I like the art. It's got a decent amount of expansions that add some extra playability to it.
Yeah, and more cute art.
Yeah, I think you have all of the expansions at this point, right?
Yeah, you made sure of that over the years that I got them all. Because I like unicorns until you murder them. Jeremy is very obnoxious to play this game with. Full disclosure, he kills my unicorns all the time. Then he steals them, and then he's like, "Now I moved your unicorn, so kill a thing." And I'm like, my unicorn.
We were just playing a game last night, and I broke the game with one of the cards because she had like the barbed wire one where you have to discard a card every time it leaves or enters your stable, and I had the lasso, so it would pull the unicorn out in the turn and then pull another one of her unicorns with it because it was
What do you have
special.
against unicorns, man?
It was so good. I broke the game. Okay,
just shut up.
What's your 20?
Summoner Wars.
Summoner Wars is good. Summoner Wars is a good
one.
game.
I do feel like, it is a bit luck-based in the sense. Like, it's a pre-made deck building. They call it a deck building, but it's not really.
You can make custom decks, can't you?
Yeah, I think you can, but...
They don't play off each other as well.
I mean, we haven't introduced the mercenary deck yet, so I don't know, but in our experience, when we kind of mix, like, the ones where we get, like, phase 1 and phase 2 decks, yeah. But I think the thing that bothers me is that it is so luck-based. I mean, a lot of games are luck-based, but it's like, do I get the card I need when I need it? Am I going to have luck with the dice rolls?
Yeah.
Is my deck a good match for the other guy's deck?
I mean, I like the tactics behind it, but the fact that the dice are such a heavy part of it can kind of wreck the experience to a degree, because like it can. I mean, I like having the luck element to it, but you could set up this amazing plan that's like a great tactic that will work out really well, and then you just roll really poorly.
Like a Will Wheaton.
Yeah.
If you're Will Wheatoning, it's not fun.
Yeah, you Will Wheaton the dice. Will Wheaton the dice, and it just screws your whole plan. But I do like the fact that there is some tactical thinking to it also.
Yeah.
So,
and I like that there are a lot of decks that you can play with, too.
A lot of variety, a lot of different tactics.
And they just revamped it, too. I don't know if the new version's any good, but, let us know if you've played that new one down below in the comments, how it rates against the OG.
The OG.
The OG.
What is your number 19?
Oh, you're giving me number 19?
Yeah, we're going to alternate back and forth.
Okay, fine. Well, I chose Llamas Unleashed, which is like unicorns, but slightly different because it's got llamas and stuff. And I like that it gives you, like, different combinations. Like, unlike Unstable Unicorns, like, if you have a certain amount of llamas or alpacas or whatever, you get certain bonuses, and I think that's really cool. But it also has that Unstable Unicorns chaotic fun thing going for it, which is why it really appeals to me. Oh, and awesome art. Did I mention the awesome art? Because there's lots of awesome art. Cute little farm animals.
Yeah, the draw a card, play a card kind of thing. But, I like that game. It's a fun game. That's definitely a worthwhile pick for your top 21. I'll allow it.
Wow. This guy is judging me.
So
I feel so judged.
So I will go on to my number 19. My number 19 is Sanctuary, the Keeper's Era.
My number 19 is definitely better than your number 19.
I don't know. Well, see, I would like to put my number 19 up against your number 20 because it's similar gameplay.
Yeah.
The I think Sanctuary is a little bit tighter on it. Like tighter on that gameplay. It eliminates the randomness of the dice, which was
true.
Kind of my complaint with Summoner Wars. There's less. You can move cards to a degree. If you watch our Let's Play of it, the one that you were playing had the movement abilities.
Yeah, I mean you're basically trapped. You're like, oh, this guy put a guy there. I guess I'm screwed unless I get something out with my little crystals.
But I definitely feel like I don't think it's a very stagnant game, and I like the variety of card effects that they have.
Yeah, I mean, you have the Sanctuary bonuses, which are nice if they don't get crushed immediately, which is a little different. But, like, as a whole, there's less, like, it's not as much like chess. Like, you know, chess has the movement where it's like, okay, which do I sacrifice, which do I move, which do I attack with? You have those death abilities and things, which Summoner Wars doesn't have, and like you said, you don't have to roll dice. But there's definitely a lot less going on. Like, there are not as many decks to choose from. There are not as many factions to face off of. As far as I know, there are currently no expansions. I don't think there's even, like, an expansion on the horizon.
Well, I mean, it's a fresh game. Summoner Wars has been out for a long time. So it has a head start in that aspect of it.
Which is fine.
I think they're trying to do similar things. I guess it's just a preference of mine, and I think Sanctuary kind of beats it.
Well, I mean, there's also, too, like, in Summoner Wars, you're paying, you know, dead things.
Yeah.
To summon things, whereas in Summoner Wars, you always get that, like, set amount unless you have, like, a card or something that allows you to get more, or it's the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
For the crystals.
That's true. I mean, it's a different mechanic, but similar mechanic, honestly, if you think about it. Okay, so I guess I'll go on to my 18.
Well, obviously, Summoner Wars is better. Summoner Wars is better. That's all I'm going to end with. Summoner Wars is better. Go on.
Well,
wait, did you shared your number? Your number?
That was my number 19.
Oh, and I was just complaining about it and confused myself. Yeah. My brain got fuzzy. A little bit of confusion.
So my number 18 is Dominion.
Not as good as my number 18.
One of the OG, if not the OG, deck building kind of game like that.
I mean, it is a deck building game. It's not kind of a deck building game. That is
like, well, but I was debating if it was the OG one or not. But because we've played a lot of deck building games, but Dominion's been around for a long time.
It has been
around. That one's one of the ones where it's a communal kind of deck building game where it's not like you're buying stuff out of the market deck. You're buying.
There is a market. I mean,
but
that
everybody
is the
can buy
area.
the same stuff. So it's not like a Star Realms where once you buy it, it's out of the market.
Unless it's like the Explorer or something.
Yeah. So I like that game because there's a lot of different tactics. There's a lot of different ways you can win. There's a lot of different ways you can target other players and kind of play with your deck. Yeah, I think it's a really cool game. I think it takes the deck building mechanic and kind of perfects it to a degree.
You know, it's funny. I think some of the things that you really like, for the most part, actually bother me. Because, like, I like Dominion with people who don't play a lot of deck builders just because, like, there are not as many things to read. Like, there's a limited set of things to read. You figure it out after a while and, like, they're good. But with someone who's more experienced, having, like, a lesser selection of things to, you know, pick from actually kind of bothers me after a while. I'm like, where's the variety? I need some spice in my life.
But the issue that I have with games like and I absolutely love Star Realms, and I'm not going to crap talk on Star Realms, but the something that you do run into and something like that is when there's a lot of RNG. So, like, a good card, you might buy a card and then a really good card comes out, and it's like, so there's that random element to it. We might talk a little bit more about Star Realms at some point. We'll
Spoilers!
See. We'll have to see.
Potential spoilers.
So what is your number 18?
I love how you're just done now. You're just like, we're moving on. Like, forget it. We're not talking about this anymore. That's fine. I'll let it go. Let it go. But my number 18 is so much better than yours. It is Magic Maze.
That's a lot of fun.
I really like this game because you're a bunch of adventurers and you're like, we don't have gear. Let's go steal it from the mall. Because, you know, there's obviously a mall when you're a local adventurer. And you're not allowed to talk, basically, for the vast majority of the game. And you just have to, like, glare at the other people with, like, the wide eyes and be like, I can, like, mind meld with you. Think the way I'm thinking. Move the thing. And then you have the little thing and you're just, like crankily jamming it in other people's face. Like, do the stuff so we can, like, steal stuff good.
Bang the pawn on the table and such. That leads to a lot of fun things. When we were playing with...
Your mother was so aggressive with that pawn.
And my sister with all the noises. We're like, ah! Or, like, squawking noises.
She wasn't supposed to do that, but that's okay. We let it go. It was our first time playing, and oh my god.
That's a lot. That is a very fun game, though.
It's it can make you hate your friends, though.
Yeah, it can also be kind of chaotic.
It is a little chaotic.
And it's also, it's one of those games where if you have a weak player, it can be kind of rough.
Well, if someone's just being obnoxious, like that person could just troll the life out of your group, and it's like, well, I guess I'm not stealing some stuff today. That's sad. No. I like stealing stuff. Kleptomania is tight. Like, that's basically what this game is. Let's be honest. Oh, and silence, you know, for the moms that just want their kids to be quiet.
Just want their kids to be quiet. All they get is the tat-tat-tat of the pawn.
Well, sometimes you just wave it in other people's face, which I feel like is even more obnoxious in some ways, but that's okay.
What is your... number 17.
Oh, you ready for this? So I realized that there are a bunch of games under this like general name bracket, so I'm only going to use the basic name, which is Kamigami Battles, which I have, I think, River of Souls, which probably some of the best art I've seen for a game. Like, I love the box art, I love the art of the game, and I just think it's a good deck builder because, I mean, like, if you look at something like Star Realms, it's like, oh, look, I played this faction card, so now I have this ability. This is a little different where you have to, like, follow, like, a chain. And they have really sexy waifu art, like, throughout the game. And everyone's like, Elaine, why does it... I mean, it's beautiful. Like, it appeals to me. It's gorgeous. I love it.
It is really nice art.
The texture of the cards is great. And, I mean, I lost this one, too. But I had fun.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever won this one.
I like the chain mechanic.
Yeah, I said that. Yeah. Like, where you have to go in a flow. And it took you forever to explain that to me. And I was like, wait, what? You're like, Elaine, this is how this works. It's not like the other games. And I'm like, I have to unlearn a thing to play this thing? That's sad.
Yeah, that's a cool mechanic. I like that. It makes it unique from the other similar kind of games. It's like a Dominion style game, honestly. Yeah.
I have to get some more expansions.
Yeah,
or
there
other
are
versions.
A lot of expansions out there, aren't there?
Expansions and I think like other standalone games. Like I think, but they can all work together. I haven't really explored that too much because I feel like I already got the one.
And it's replayable, which is good.
It is very replayable. And I like it. And it's affordable. And it's beautiful. It's better than whatever Jeremy's going to come up with. That's the theme of our thing. My list is better than your list.
Well, it's a matter of opinion.
I mean, you can all let us know down below in the comments that mine is totally better than Jeremy's list. I'm just playing.
My number 17 is Azul.
Ooh.
I like that game because I like the pick up and put down kind of mechanic where you're like taking all of them of the one color, having to lay them out on your board. I love those moments where somebody gets stuck with like a million of them because nobody was picking the pink the entire game, and the pink all ends up in the middle, and then whoever that lands on is going to end up with all those negative points.
Oh, no.
It's it's got a decent amount of strategy to it. It has a flow to it that once you know the game, there's like optimal ways to play, kind of.
Yeah.
But it all is determined by what pieces come out and where they come out and how many are on each of the tiles. So I think that's a fun game. It's an easy game to teach too. You can teach it to somebody in 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, it's child friendly for the most part.
Yeah.
They're probably going to be like, pretty colors! Which is, I mean, that's kind of how I play. I'm like, ooh, I want this pretty color. I want this pretty color. And then you steal it, and I'm like, you suck. Like,
are you ready for my 16?
Oh, we're on your 16?
Yeah, you just did your 17,
I'm really bad with the number. Like, my brain is like, wait, why aren't we counting in, like, order? Like, 1, 2, whatever. And it's just...
So
this is sad. I'm sorry, guys.
My 16 is an an oldie but a goodie.
Oh, is it?
Yes, it is Scattergories.
Oh, I'll allow it.
Yes.
Mine is still better, but I'll allow it.
That's like from my old family board game days before I started becoming a tabletop collector. And
it's in your collection, though.
Yes, it is in my collection.
Yeah.
I actually have 2 versions of it. I have an old version that like I used to play as a kid. Like my mom's old copy.
Yeah, in her room,
Yeah.
like under the pillows and things. Yeah.
But Scattergories is just a lot of fun. It's infinitely replayable because the amount of letters combinations with the categories that you can get is there. I mean, it's not infinite, but it's pretty big.
It's getting there.
Yeah, and I think it's like 40. Like the game that I have has like 40 different categories or 40 different cards.
Yeah.
Which you can match up to 26 different letters, and that's a permutation that I don't even want to figure out. So
too much math. We don't like math here.
So, but it's a lot, and it's fun. It really racks your brain. It's one of those games where you feel really dumb when you can't come up with something, and then somebody else comes up with something really obvious.
I do think it's and this is probably the only problem I have with this game is kind of like Scrabble. It's skewed toward people who like read more or are more familiar with English. Like, if you're playing this with your family, I feel like you have to like go easy on your small children so you don't like absolutely annihilate them.
My mom's always been good at those kind of games. That's why usually her gifts, I get her a lot of word games. She's always been good at Scrabble and stuff like that, and she really likes categories. So that's why we played Scrabble and categories as kids a lot. Yeah,
my mom didn't torture me with that. We did play Junior Scrabble, though, a few times, and then I was like, I don't like this. Let's not. Let's not.
What is your 16?
It's Chicka Pig, dear.
I like that game.
I like it because I mean, the art is hideous. Like, when I first looked at the art, I was like, what on earth? Why? But, I mean, it's abstract, and I like that. Because, like, every game, and I've said this before, I think, in some of our other videos, like, once you get one worker placement, you kind of own them all for the most part. They're all very, very similar, and the same thing with deck builders. But this is a little different, because it's like, get your thing in the goal, and there's also some things in the way, and some cards, and it's like, oh, and poop. There's always poop on a farm.
Yeah.
And poop. So, you know. And, I mean, apparently it's, like, very well received within the autistic communities.
Yeah, it definitely has that like kind of like puzzle, like brain teaser kind of feel to it, where you can sit there and just try and figure it out.
Yeah, and it helps if you get the bigger numbers. So that's the thing I don't like. Jeremy always seems to roll the big numbers, and when I play, I get like little ones, and I'm like, well, I guess I'll just go here, boop, and then you move a thing, and I'm like, but
you can still win with the little numbers.
Yeah, it just takes longer. So that's why I don't win. It's very sad. And I think it scales well with the group, and I think part of the reason why it goes over so well with those communities and with children is just because it helps them socialize. Like, it's apparently really good with helping them socialize.
I can definitely see that.
And it's not like Junior Monopoly, so that's exciting. Like, I feel like this is a game geared for kids that can also be played with adults, which is also nice, because I feel like when you have those kinds of games, it's like, here's your little kid version of this game we like. But they didn't do that here. Like, they managed to find a thing that's, like, literally perfect for both groups. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's childish. Like, if you look at the art and you look at the way things are written and you look at the rules. And, I mean, splinters. Beware of splinters. But, like, it's good.
Yeah,
like, they did a good job.
It is a little bit of a rough cut on some of the pieces.
A little bit?
Yeah.
Understatement of the year much? Look at my voice get very high again? My mandatory high voice section of this video? I'm going to stop now because that's actually hurting, but you know.
What is your next one? Number, what is it, 15?
Yeah, we're on 15. We're already on 15. Halfway through this list, basically. So, that's Flying Goblin by Yellow.
Ooh, that's a fun one.
So, it's on this number just because, like, the catapult is basically like a demented seesaw. And it's a little hard to flick sometimes, and then you flick it into the box. And I like the dex. We don't have a lot of dexterity games, and I think this is a good dexterity game. I just think that they needed a little more intense catapult there for my catapult powers.
I think they need a couple more positive things that you can land in, because I feel like there's a lot of negative things or neutral things that you land in.
Yeah, but that's so the game lasts longer and you can keep flicking.
That's true.
That's the fun part of the game is flicking stuff into the air. So your mom wants to murder you.
I feel like the last time I played, I got the king guy. Didn't I get the king?
You got the king guy multiple times, and I wanted
to
throw things because I just kept getting like not the king guy, and I really wanted the king guy.
Yeah, I mean everybody wants the king guy, but
because he's the king guy.
Yeah, I like the fact that you can turn the board around. I think that's kind of cool. Like, you have the ability to turn it.
I don't, because then that lets you keep getting the king guy and my other things. I don't like when you get my nice things.
Eventually ended up coming down to like trying to get yours off as fast as possible, because once you use all of yours, even if they have more, they don't get to use all of them if you finish first. So honestly, just shooting them off really fast.
Sometimes you can get them in, but yeah.
But
I like it.
So that was your 15, right?
Yeah, that was my 15. It's better than your 15.
I don't think it is.
Oh, really?
Tell
us why, sir.
Pandemic Reign of Cthulhu.
That's a good one, but not as good as mine.
It's not as good as yours?
Not as good as mine.
Oh.
Where is it? I don't know. We'll find out.
I think that's a better version of Pandemic.
Oh yeah, it's much better than Pandemic.
And honestly, probably the Eldritch, Lovecraft game that I've had the most fun with.
That's most forgiving too. Probably. Yeah. Other than maybe Mountains of Madness.
I mean, we did almost lose the last time we played.
Yeah, but I mean, it wasn't like as hardcore losing as like Eldritch Horror.
Yeah, and we have won that game. So, unlike...
The Pandemic game, not Eldritch Horror. Yeah, don't be confused, folks. We have not won Eldritch Horror.
We've still not won Eldritch Horror, but we have won the Pandemic game. So it definitely is, I guess, more forgiving. But there is, like, you can lose it. Like,
yes, you can.
It's definitely one of those games where it seems like you could lose.
Well, if you weren't the Huntress lady, we would not have murdered all the things, and we would have lost. But I also was the person. I think I was the detective, maybe.
Yeah, in the last game.
Basically the researcher in actual Pandemic, where you don't have to have as many cities or towns.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
That combination of players that we were playing with in the last time was definitely that's the best combination.
That was the only combination that allowed us to win.
Yeah, definitely.
Scary monsters.
But yeah, it's cool. The art, they do a good job of using the artwork. I mean, all the artwork in all of the Eldritch kind of games are pretty much the same for the most part.
Yeah, I would
they
agree
use a
with
lot
that.
of the same iconography,
same
and
color
like that.
scheme,
the
same palette. The palette is the same.
I like the minis. The minis are cool.
Oh, the minis were cool.
Yeah.
I mean, they're monstrous minis, so I mean, not that cool, but they were cool.
I will go on to my number 14 now, if I am allowed.
No, that's fine. Go ahead. Okay,
so at number 14, I have a fun worker placement game.
Oh, what a surprise.
Stone Age.
The OG.
Yeah.
Basically.
I don't know, is that OG?
Very OG. Maybe not OG, but OG.
I do like Stone Age. It's a fun game, and I like the options that you have. I like that you can go in and make babies.
Yeah, you love just making babies in that hut. You people need to like develop protection. Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
And you go hunting? No, but it's like you're creating your workforce. You want more babies so they can work in the fields and go hunting.
Yeah, so send a baby out to hunt a mammoth. That seems like a good idea. With like its little baby spear.
All I know is one turn I go in, I make babies. Next turn they're out hunting. So they grow up real fast.
That's done fudged up. That's done fudged up. Yeah.
That's a fun game. I like it. I think it does a really good job with the.
You said you liked it.
Yeah.
It's in your top 21. You probably like it. Yeah.
I think it does a good job with the worker placement aspect.
I think there are better worker placement games.
I agree.
More on that later.
What is your number 14?
My number 14 is King of Tokyo.
Ooh, that's a fun one.
I'm just loving on the yellow games today. But I like being a big scary monster that gets to like terrorize Tokyo.
Yeah, that one's fun. I definitely think it's more fun when you play with the full complement of people.
Definitely. Yeah, when it's two people, it's just like punch, 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 punch,
And we've played that game with two people a lot more than we've played it with more than two people. But it's a lot more fun with more than two people. But it's fun. I like the cards.
Yeah, I like how there's different ways of playing. Like you could be more peaceful, or you could try like for the number combinations or whatever.
Yeah, there's a lot of avenues towards advancing in the game. You could go for the points, or you could try and kill all the other monsters.
That's cool. More fun, obviously.
Yeah, you could be more bold and stay in Tokyo.
That's also fun.
Yeah,
I like to live dangerously.
Live right up to the last moment. You're like, no, I gotta get out and heal.
Well, I mean, also I have the original one where it's like you could be like knock off Godzilla and knock off King Kong.
Legally distinct Godzilla, legally distinct King Kong.
Very legally distinct.
I have the other version with like the penguin guy
and the cat.
Penguin and the cat.
Not as good as my version.
Yeah, I do, and I like the cards. The cards are creative. Do we have an expansion with the cards? I feel like we got a card pack or something.
No.
Or do they just have different cards between the two sets?
Maybe.
I feel like there's definitely different.
We've
cards.
played, I think, your set more than my set.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's definitely a good game. I will agree with you.
Nice family-friendly cartoony art.
Yeah,
many pretty colors. Many pretty colors.
I think that deserves its spot. Maybe maybe it's a little too far down.
You think?
Yeah.
That's harsh, man.
What's your 13?
I'm unlucky 13.
Unlucky 13.
So I chose Shards of Infinity. I'm just all about the
game.
deck builders today. And this one's coming out with a lot of expansions, which is really nice.
Yeah.
But I like how, like, this one eventually has a cap. You know how, like, with Star Realms, you could just, like, recover health and just not beat the darn out of each other fast enough to actually, like, end the game? This one's like, no, once you get to this number and you draw this card, you're all dead! Ha 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 ha! Which appeals to me because, like, sometimes, as much as I love Star Realms, I don't want to play one round of Star Realms for like an hour and a half.
Especially if somebody's using like the healing.
Which has happened before. Actually, didn't we play with like Philip and your sister for like 3 hours until like 2 a.m. and I wanted to murder you because I had school the next day?
It took so long. I don't understand why.
Because they were being trolls. Well, mainly your sister. Your sister is a troll. We love her, but she is a troll.
She was trolling very
Sorry,
effectively.
Michelle. Like, troll.
Yeah. That game can last a long time with the healing and such, but this one you're on a timer.
And I like how you get to like level up with the power, and then you beat people up more and get more money and things. I like things.
I appreciate the factions in that game. I don't see the factions as being as distinct as in Star Realms, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think the green one is the one where they have
more healing
here, even too. No, the blobs are more attack heavy, and the other one. And I think the rays are more damage, and the blue ones are more likely to give you little sun things whose names I'm like completely informed.
Yeah. I don't remember any of the faction names, honestly. The wraiths. That's the only ones I remember. The purple ones. Yeah,
but I feel like with Star Realms, like the ships like are more distinct. Like you can see they each have like a different style, whereas like the style for these is a little less clear. Like they have some stuff they have got like, you know, beasties and things, but like not as obvious.
I do like how it has extra effects as you level up your energy things that you can use on certain cards.
I did say that you get more things.
It wasn't super specific.
I
was being a little bit more specific. And we shouldn't talk too much about Star Realms, because I'm sure we'll be talking about Star Realms in the future.
As you can tell, we like Star Realms. Spoilers, guys. But I think the thing that I don't like about this game is just, out of all of the deck builders we have, it has by far the ugliest freaking art. I do not like the art for this game.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the art.
I mean, ships don't really get me excited. Like, no one's getting a boner about a ship, but like, it's not.
I also don't like when we played with the expansion, I don't like the extra cards that were put in, because some of them were so skewed. I liked the cards, but the effects that they had when they paired up with specific leaders.
Yeah,
like
that's the
some
point.
of them were so like skewed.
They were so much better.
Yeah, like the blue deck giving you so many more of the stars.
Was that I don't. Who had the blue one?
You had the blue one.
No, I always play as Tetra.
No, you had the blue one, and you were using it to try and get all the stars, and that's why I ended up having to kill you the normal way before you got all the stars, because there was no way I could keep up with it.
That seems inaccurate.
No, I was the green guy.
But my person was green too.
Yours was the blue guy.
No, I play Tetra with the hair and the Tetras.
Well, let's go to my number 13 now.
Fine, we'll go to your number 13.
My number 13 is Kahuna.
All right.
Kahuna Matata.
You basic bro.
How's that basic?
I don't know. That game's from the 90s. It's very basic.
I like that game. You're building your bridges. It's kind of like a puzzle game.
I'm also destroying your bridges.
That's true.
I'm burning your bridges.
You're burning my bridges?
Forget your bridges. I tossed them into the water.
So
I lied. I'm like storming your bridges.
Storming.
But not in the typical way you're thinking with soldiers.
I like the game because there's a certain aspect of it where you are kind of looking at it from like a puzzle perspective. Like, I want to play this bridge at this time, and that will make you lose all of your bridges, because once you take control of the island, the opponent loses all their bridges off of it. I think that tactical aspect of it is kind of cool, but there's also the random aspect of when the cards are going to come out. So
if you get the cards you need.
Yeah.
Especially like later game, it's really aggravating, because by then usually everything's basically been claimed, and then you're like, let's see if I can get rid of a bridge and then also add a bridge back, so like I can like change things up a little.
Yeah.
It's a little rough.
Those like 2-for plays.
Which I'm not good at, because I never seem to get the cards I need at the end of the game. Like, I peak early, like Greece. And then everything's a decline from there.
Yeah, you do tend to come out pretty strong, and I tend to have a stronger.
I'm just like my country, man. I don't know what to tell you. Peak early, and then everything's a decline.
Everything's downhill after that. You invented democracy, and that was it.
And you know, an entire pantheon, and a lot of philosophical ideas, and some awesome food. We also invented bubblegum. You're welcome.
Bubblegum.
Yeah, bubblegum.
Yeah, it came from that island you were talking about the other
You know
day.
the island I'm from? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hios. Nice try. Anyway.
So, that was number 13. You know what didn't make my list, actually? What's it called? What's the Greek game? The Greek game where you place the citadel things?
Santorini.
Santorini. That's a Greek game. That didn't make it on my list.
It didn't make it on my list either.
Oh, wow.
Spoilers!
So, my number 12 is one we've already talked about.
Is it?
Yeah, what do you think it is?
Is it Star Realms?
No, it is King of Tokyo.
Oh. Well, I guess we don't have to talk about it now.
Yeah, King of Tokyo, fun game, press your luck mechanic. We didn't actually really talk about that in the last thing. I do like the press your luck mechanic.
We did a little bit.
Yeah, I think it does a good job. It does a good job with that. So that's my 12. What's your 12?
Again, we were just talking about Star Realms.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my number 12 is Star Realms. I thought you were going to copy me and I'd be like, you basic bro, but you ruined it for me. It's okay. So we've already talked about Star Realms a lot. I mean, we played this a lot. We've played it with expansions. We don't like it as much with when you're working cooperatively and fighting the big scary monsters and the pirates in space. We just like to murder each other. We wake up, we choose violence. That's what we do. And you don't like the new expansions I got where it adjusts I think it's called scenarios, and it gives you rules for the game where it's everything you buy costs one less coin, or
The only reason it didn't end up being good when we played it was because the way that we play Star Realms is
that was for one scenario. You shush now.
Listen.
Let me want a thing.
When we play Star Realms, we cycle the cards that we've played because we'll play multiple games in a row. So then those cards get removed from the game and we continue playing through the deck. And I ended up drawing a scenario that benefited one of the factions that was already basically played through by the time we got to that scenario.
Why so bitter? I don't know what to say to you, man. You lost a game. You're a bad loser.
I am not a great loser.
Really? Why is that? Is it because you never lose? And
yes,
when you do, your soul dies a little bit?
I never lose.
That's
I'm not
your excuse?
I'm not used to it.
You're not accustomed to losing? That's hurtful, man.
But no, the scenarios were fine. I don't have anything against them objectively.
I like how they sped up the game.
Yeah.
That was nice. Because usually early game's a little rough when you don't have any money and you're just like, well, I can't buy this thing that's just sitting in the row. I think there were a few games we played where everything that was ridiculously expensive came out first and we had no money, and it was just turn after turn of well, I don't have 8 coins yet, so I can't buy that.
Yeah, I guess we're getting explorers now for a little while.
Yay! I love explorers. They explore the galaxy like Dora. Can you imagine Dora in space? She'd just die, no helmet. She'd have a little fishbowl and she'd just... Anyway, sorry, children.
So, yeah. I really like Star Realms. It's definitely a game that I think I will be talking about it a little bit more as we move along. I don't want to get into too many of my thoughts.
Well, my favorite faction is the blue one. I think it's the Federation. Basically, your girl likes being the government. I'm pretty sure it's the government.
Yeah.
Seems like the government.
It's like the Federation from Star Trek.
Yeah. Last thing I'll say about this, because I know your soul is dying to move on to number 11. I feel like this game, more than a lot of the other deck builders we play, is very dependent, or at least more dependent on you getting the same types of cards, so you can have a chain.
Yeah.
Or you can get the group effects. I don't we play so many of these and I don't remember the terms.
Effects?
Yeah, I don't remember the terms, but I know what I'm talking about. Then, some of the other ones where it's a little more forgiving if you mix and match.
Yeah, definitely. This one's mix and matching a deck on this game is not going to help you out a lot of the time.
I mean, you can blend them a little bit, but not as much as some of the other ones. Now you can move on to number 11, the last one on this list. Make it good.
My number 11 is one that barely got edged out of my top 10.
Oh, really?
And that is a game that I've liked for a very long time, and that is Carcassonne.
Yes, that is a good one.
Carcassonne is a fun game.
You don't say, sir.
Yes, and I love my brilliant tactic of always constantly hoarding in on other peop's cities.
Yeah, everyone hates you for it.
It's my favorite thing to do.
That's why we don't play this game anymore.
Though when we were playing with our friends last week? Right? Last week? We were playing Carcassonne? Couple weeks ago. And we were playing with them. One of our friends is better at that than I am. Not gonna lie. He's definitely better at hoarding it on the cities than I am. I thought I had mastered it.
Well, I'm the queen of roads. I always all I get are roads. I don't know why. It's kind of hard to get in a city when all you get are roads.
Yeah.
Which, that really screws your game, because the cities are worth so much more than basically everything else. So if you're just getting, the roads and, the farmlands and stuff. It's not easy to keep up.
But the roads are easier to complete. So
Yeah.
that's kind of the thing that you're getting.
I guess that's the trade-off.
The other thing that I'll say is I like that Carcassonne has released a fair amount of expansions to it. And they even had that was the big box one. That was the one where they put all the mini expansions in one box.
Yeah, for that year. I have it.
Yeah.
Unopened.
Yeah.
Just chilling on my shelf.
Well, because we always play my version.
Yeah.
But like we haven't come across a expansion that we don't like. The one with the dragon was weird, but
I mean, you kept eating my people and Lakota's people, and we didn't like that, so don't do that.
But it added an extra element to the game that made the game like have another layer of playability, which is I think the best kind of expansion you can have.
That's true.
Is one that adds an extra mechanic.
Since I have to be the voice of negativity, the thing I really don't like about this game is you need a huge table to play this game. Like, as soon as you get, like, a long road and it stretches across your table and you're like, well, this section is really over here, and that one's over there, and it's just like, why?
You do find yourself kind of, like, making decisions based on where it's going to land on the table. You're like, I don't want to continue the road going this way. But, yeah, it is one of those games where you kind of need, like, a gaming table. Like one of those ones that are wide, that's designed for like...
we've played on some wide tables before, and it did not help.
No, but you need like...
You need like a big girl table.
You know the one I'm talking about, like the gaming tables
like,
where it's like recessed and stuff. I really want one of those.
But they're expensive.
Yeah.
You po' boy.
Listen, subscribe to the channel, so I can get myself a gaming table one day.
He wants to be a less po' boy. Like the sandwich. Like the sandwich. So my number 11 is a game we've talked about, because we didn't plan this very well. So we're just copying each other's lists.
Well, I mean, it's better that way.
Is it though?
Yeah.
Now we're just talking about the same stuff over and over. So my number 11 is Pandemic Reign of Cthulhu, because, I like to kill monsters.
Killing monsters is tight.
We sound psychotic. What are we doing? What are you doing? Don't make us sound psychotic.
It's fun. It adds like the extra layers to the typical Pandemic game. It eliminates some of the annoying repetitive bits out of Pandemic. I like that the map's not as big as traditional Pandemic.
It's kind of like one of those hot zones, which I don't like as much, but,
Yeah,
and then we get to fight stuff.
And you get to fight stuff, yeah,
which
is cool.
Stuff.
That's the extra like kind of mechanic that's added to it, and I like that.
It's good.
I also like the effect. I both like and dislike the effects that the old gods can put on you. What was that one that popped up when we were playing last, where it was like we instantly could have like won the game, and then that popped up at the wrong time,
and we needed like an extra.
Yeah, I can't.
It was a neighboring town color. Oh
yeah, and we basically had the game won, and then that effect popped up, and it was like, oh okay, well this just
Our
added
plans.
Yeah, it added several turns onto what we were trying to do, and we almost lost. But no, I think it's definitely a good choice. Definitely a good choice.
That was our top 21 numbers 11 through 21. Let's not mislead people.
Yes.
This is only part 1. Soon will be the part 2, which is our top 10 for our 21 top 21.
And those are the ones that really matter.
Yeah. Because, 2021 was, a great year, and we have to have 21 great board games for 2021. I mean, it was better than 2020.
That's why
we're moving forward.
That's why we didn't do a top 20 in 2020. 2020 doesn't get a top 20.
Poor 2020. Sad little 2020. Anyway, if you guys like what you saw here today, please smash that like button until it's blue. Let us know down below in the comments. What are some of your favorite games? What would have made your top 21 of 21? Well, actually just 11 through 21. We don't want to hear your top 10 yet. That's for the first video.
Give us your 11 through 21 of your top 21.
And also, obviously, let us know down below in the comments whose list was better. Clearly, it's my list.
Well, yeah, we'll take votes, and we'll see.
Well, it's clearly my list. I mean, come on. Anyway, I'll stop teasing you so much, all right?
Subscribe to the channel so I can one day get my amazing gaming table. Listen, it'll be underlit and everything. We'll be able to do so many better Let's Plays with all of the recording setup and everything. Just come on, guys. Subscribe to the channel so I can get my gaming table.
He just doesn't want to be a po' boy anymore. He's tired of being a sandwich. He wants to move on to the days where he gets to be fries. Because fries are better, I guess? I don't know.
I do like me some fries.
And ring that bell so you'll know what's up.
And we'll catch you all in the next one.
Bye, guys.
Hey, are you listening? Hey, this is Billy West. I knew you'd recognize my voice, but sometimes you can't, because you're watching King's Entertainment Reviews. Now, I would love it, being the professor, if you'd comment, like, and subscribe. You hear that? He knows what he's talking about, because he's a smart old bastard. Yeah. All right, now, get with it.